What's up guys, Sarfo Carbell here, and once again welcome back to another video in this particular wonderful series. So we've been up and down, we've been able to code at least the homepage here with about. Also we are still on the same single page. Guys, if you haven't checked out the previous videos, I suggest you just click the link at the top right corner here and check those videos out, because we've done a lot and I know there is much more coming. This is the homepage. This is the final and completed project. As you can see, the nav bar is very nice and responsive as well, meaning on a smaller screen, maybe tablet or smartphones, you can see the way it just shrinks down. We get our hamburger here, that when you click, just wonderful animation. And we're going to do this with just CSS, and only in the next video. There is no JavaScript involved here, just pure CSS. And then up here we have our section offer, which we are doing today. Nice offer cards with these nice icons, which we talked about in the previous video, how we got them. And then we'll have our nice newsletter section here, where if someone has it, you could just subscribe, just click here, subscribe, and then yeah, that's it. And then our footer here, you have the buttons, nice button here to take you to the various places, take us to the home, it will take us to about, take us to subscribe, and it could also take us back to nowhere. That's probably here. And then we have this here too as well, and then we have this, and the best part is also the social media icons here. They are wonderful, they are great. So this video is going to be power packed. Without much ado guys, let's just jump right into the video. So I'm going to minimize this and I'm going to be running very quickly because this video is packed with a lot, and I'll go back to where I was. That was somewhere around the section about. I'll just Ctrl+C, copy this, and then Ctrl+V, paste this, but I'm going to change this from about to offer. And then so that section offer, I can have I want a padding 100 pixels at the top, 0 at the right, 200 pixels at the bottom, and then 0 at the left. Save that, and you can see there's 100 here and then there's 200 at the bottom here. That's probably just cool. And then I also want one more thing. I want text aligned to be centered, and the reason why I'm doing that, take a close look at this, at the one here. That is it here. Everything is nicely centered. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say dot section offer, and then dot offer container, and I'm going to say I want the weight. This is the container where this is the container that's going to provide the grade. So I want the weight of 100%, and then I want the display of grade. You've already come across the grade already, and I want grade template columns of how many columns do I want? To be frank, let's take a look at this, the completed one here. This is it, right? Let's look at something. Once I'm dragging, it has become 3 now, and look at how it was arranged. And then I'll keep dragging, and then it becomes 3, boom. And then to stay this way and stay centered for a while. When I'm coming down, and then yeah. So this is what I'm going to do. Just only one line of code for this one, and it's going to make everything responsive. You don't have to write any responsive code. Unlike the one here, we specify clearly that we wanted one column here, and then when we go to a smaller screen like this too, we wanted it to be aligned straight this way. At this place, we're just going to write only one line of CSS, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to say we want it to repeat, and then when we say auto fit, it should automatically fit, auto fit. I'll explain this very soon. Let me just write it, auto fit, and then the main max of 250 pixels and then 1 FR. Alright, now let me explain this for you again. Now the thing is that we are saying it should repeat, and then auto fit, and the minimum and then maximum of this. So the minimum weight of this thing should be 250 pixels. That should be the minimum weight. That shouldn't be anything less than 250 pixels. But it should be as big as just 1 FR. 1 FR is just the whole fraction space right here. So you realize that when I'm expanding it here, okay, the very moment the space here, the whole weight here can occupy 2 of this thing, it will automatically squeeze the one beneath it by 8. Alright, so as you can see right now, this one is probably more than 250 pixels. That's why it was able to squeeze it here. But if I should bring it here this way, it came down. You know why? Because now it is less than 250 pixels, so it can't accommodate 2, because the minimum weight should be what? 2. I don't know if this makes sense for you. And then I keep dragging, it accumulates 2 now. I keep dragging. The moment it can accumulate the third one, that it will automatically push that one up here. So just one line of CSS code, and you don't have to worry about whether it's being responsive or not, because it's going to just kick itself there. And I've not even added that's the main one. Let's come here, so you can see it's even actually acting here. You can see it, then it automatically fits in nicely. And but let's add the other lines of code to just make it powerful. I want to say gap. I want the gap to be 20 pixels. That's something I want to do, just to create some gap in between them and over them. Now the next thing I'm going to say is dot section offer and offer. If you go to the HTML, you can see that. Bring everything down. About it done. So if you look at the offer, the cards are actually called what offer. That's why I'm actually using dot section offer. So I'll just say I want background color of DB, as you can already see there. And then I also want padding of 40 pixels top and bottom, and then 20 pixels left and right. Save that, and then you can see it automatically here, because without padding it actually looks that ugly, very ugly. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add border radius of 3 pixels. Save it, because if you look at the original one, we have some border radius around that thing. So the next thing is also to add box shadow. This is probably very important to give it that aesthetic look. Box shadow of, I want 0 pixels on the x-axis, and then I want 2 pixels on the y, and then I want 5 pixels blur, and then the color I want is black. So 000 VS Code will help us here. Just over on this one here, and then you can bring the opacity here to somewhere like 0.5. And let me save that, and then that's it. So on the y-axis, and then 0.5 blur, 5 pixels blur, and then 0.5. That's it. And then I want to add one more thing. If I should hover on this, copy, Control V, and I should just have the pseudo class of. If I should hover on this, I want the box shadow. Let me copy it, Control C, Control V. But I want to make some little adjustments. When I hover on it, I want the shadow to become bigger, so let me just say 4 pixels. But I want the blur to also become much bigger, so 10 pixels for the blur. But with the darkness, I want it to be something much like so 0.2. And then let me add it here before I try even looking at it. So transition, I want 0.4 seconds. Let me see. See that the shadow becomes dark, like lighter, but that's not all. One more thing we should add is should transform. And then I want it to translate so 0 on the x, and on the y-axis I want it to go negative 3 pixels. Yeah, let's do that, and then I can make the 3 much bigger. Make it like 5, and then the color, the 4 pixels I actually did here, I think was too much. Let me make it 3 here, and then this blur is far too big. Let me just do this way, and yeah, I think it's still, or the 2 is 3, 4. So yeah, that's it. Alright, we are not done. Let's look at the very main one here. As you can see, there's these icons which won't take us anything. Let's just write that code very easy. So dot section offer, and then I have dot offer, and then the I. We use the I tag for that. I just want to say font size of 70 pixels. I want a color of, it's a color I used here, 97630202, and then finally I want to say margin bottom of probably 20 pixels. Let me save that. So that's it. I just downloaded the section offer. You can compare it to the main one. It's the same thing. The moment I start stretching here, it does that same thing here, and yeah, we are done. That was quick. Let's go to the next one, which happens to be our newsletter. So I just copy this one once again. Copy paste somewhere, Control V, and then section newsletter. It's very good to demarcate your work like this, so that when you come back, maybe even days or months later, you can still understand what you were doing and then even try and make some changes to your code. Product section, newsletter. I want a weight of 100%. I just typed that. Weight of 100%. I want a height of 50 viewport height. So 50 is this is the whole viewport from the top to the down here, viewport height. So I want 50 of this, 50% of this, so something like half of this. And I hope maybe that one makes sense soon. And then yeah, one more thing I want to do is I want to add a background image of URL. I should have assets, and then I should have, I think the name was what was the name? I think it was image1. And let's save that. Let's see where is it? Yeah, I think that's it. And then background size of cover, and then background position of center. Then let's save that. Let's have a look at it. So let's say there neatly. But I see I could have just added the linear gradient just like I did at the beginning of the series with this one. But there's something I want us to learn here, and then it's going to be great. You'll see it very soon. You realize that I'm done with section of let me put it here. Realize that I added one class here and I called it what? Overlay. So I'm going to use this as an overlay behind everything here. I'm not just going to add something. There's another way of doing adding that gradient to it. Instead of just adding the linear gradients here, you can just use the overlay. So let's look at how we're going to work that one out. So before that, let me just write this. I'm going to say the section newsletter, and then newsletter test dot secondary heading, and then I want margin bottom of like 20 pixels here. Save it. Yeah, and one more thing too, I want to make the color white. I don't know why I keep saving to that place. I don't know why I keep saving to that place. So the next thing I'm going to do is section newsletter and that overlay. Okay, so I'm going to say I want the width to be 100%. I want the height should also be 100% of what? The parent element, which appears to the. Let me save that. Nothing shows. And I want to say background color of, I want the black first, and then later I'll change the black from black to somewhere like I want the opacity around 7.5. Yeah, somewhere around here. Save it. And can we see it? We can't see it, but let's look at what we can do right now. I'm just going to do something. I'm going to say position absolute. I want top of 0 and then left of also 0. And let me save that. And where is it? We can't find it. Can we find it? We can't find it. I think it's somewhere around here. If I'm not wrong, it should be around here. This is the overlay. Yeah, I know it's there. Let's inspect it. So you can click here, inspect. Yeah. Let me maybe bring it down. Everything is down there. So let's inspect. We can go back to, yeah, this overlay. You can see it has come all the way. This is the overlay. Let me bring this one here. Yeah, this is the overlay. And look at where it can be found here all the way here. It has been found all the way at the top here, and that's where it's supposed to be. All right, now let's look at something how we can change that. Now the reason why you can find it at the top here and not somewhere where it's supposed to be here is that when you say absolute, it's going to be set absolute to the next parent element that has position set on it. If you can realize that here, with the overlay here, this letter does not have any position set to it, so it will automatically look for the next thing that had position set to it. And since it didn't find anything, it decided to use the whole this one browser, set it to the whole browser. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to do only one simple trick here. We just come here again, come to section newsletter, and just say position of relatives, and then save it, and then I'm add one thing before I go in. I just say color of white, and then save it. So as you can see now, the overlay has come where it is set absolute towards this parent element, which happens to be what? Their section newsletter. But as you can see, the color is white, but the overlay happens to be on top, and then we can just come here and just say z index of 1, and then save it. Nothing happens, I'm sure. Yeah, we have to do one more thing. We have to say section newsletter, and then dot newsletter test. I don't know where I got this name for. Newsletter test. I want to say weight of 100%. Of 100%. I want to say position of also absolute, and then I want to say top of 50%, left of 50%, and then let's save that. Now, if you come here, realize that it's not centered. Why is it not centered? Let's look at this. Now, when you say top 50%, it's going to move the top corner here. This is the reference point. So that one was supposed to be here. So top 50% means it has moved from the top corner here down by 50%, and also here by 50%, and that's why it is somewhere here. So the next thing to do is that we're going to say transform and translate. We're going to move it negative 50% on the X, and then negative 50% on the Y. Let me end that here and save it. Now look at something. It's somewhere in the center right now. Let me comment this one out, and let me save it. And as you can see, it's somewhere here. But the very moment I comment and bring it back in, so once I set it that way, you can see it's centered right now, but you can't see that. Let me just do one thing. Let me just say test align here of center to center anything test in there. Yeah, and that's it. You can see it's actually centered right now. Let me go to a bigger screen. You can see it's nicely centered here. Yeah, so that's it. It's a pretty quick fix, but you can see it's behind this, and what we're going to do is we're going to use what we call z index. Z index, as you already know, shows the stack. If I say z index of probably 2, it just comes straight on top here. Now z index can only work if the thing you are setting the z index for, if the thing you're setting the z index for has position set on it. So you can see a position of absolute set here and also here, so that's why the z index actually work. If not, I doubt it would have worked. Probably I have set that to maybe something else. So let's go to the next place, which is actually the footer. You see, just now we are almost there. The footer, which just says, well, get in touch. As you can see here nicely, it's actually looking okay. Let's look at the very main one. So we can see we have 3 column grid here, 1, 2, and 3. And then when we go to a smaller screen like this, we have a 1 column screen. Wait, I forgot one thing. I didn't style this form here. Let me get that one done. So dot section newsletter once again, and let me just say form. I'm just going to say I want a width of 350 pixels, and then I want margin of auto. Let me save that. Why it keeps coming here? Nothing is showing. Okay, let me see what happens. Let me just take this one off and save it. And you realize that it's somewhere at the left side here. Now margin auto just centers everything. That doesn't have 100% width. I hope that is a quick fix for you. And just say I want some margin top of probably just 20 pixels. Push it away. And then I want dot section newsletter form, and then I want to select the first input. Now I could have just added a class to this particular input and installed that class, but I want to show you something here. You just say input, and then you bring the square brackets, all right, and I just say type is equal to email. Now let's go back to the HTML here. Now this is a form. Now look at this particular input. It has a what type of what email, and that's the one I'm selecting, and that's the way you can use CSS to select it. All I have to just say is that section newsletter form, and then the input, I want the input to the type of what email. So let me just do one thing here. I'm just going to say outline. I'm just going to say I want width first of all of 80%. I want border of none. I want outline of also none, and then I want font family of inherit. Now the thing is that when we're talking about inputs here, the inputs don't inherit the font family that comes with the body, so you have to automatically specify that it should inherit that body. You can just type, I can write poppins here and then it will inherit. Let me just take this one out here and save it, and let's go back to it. Look at the font family very well, and now let me save it again. Let's take a look at it. You might probably not notice the difference because of the way I don't know why it's not saving on when it says it refreshes back to that place. If you know it, let me know down in the comment section below. Now let's go. One thing I'm going to do again is I'm just going to add a padding, right? And I'm going to say padding. I want padding of 10 pixels top and bottom, and then 20 pixels left and right. I hope that one works. And then I want to say border radius of 20 pixels. 20 pixels, yeah. Let me save that one and check it out. What do you have here? It looks almost great. Let me see. Yeah, it's looking pretty well. So I could just add one more thing. I want to add margin bottom. I'll show you the reason why very soon. I want to add margin bottom of probably 10 pixels, and then add transition of probably 0.4 seconds, and then I want to add a border of 2 pixels solid, and then transparent. I've already explained the reason why I make it transparent here. So this is it here. Nothing. So now when you hover on it, you realize that there is nothing showing, and we don't want that. We want the user to get that user experience that when he or she clicks, he knows that he or she has clicked, not just the cursor pointing there to. He or she has to feel something. All right. So let me just come here. I'll copy everything here. Control C, and then Control V, and I'll add hover. Is it hover? That's no hover. You use the focus class here. Focus. Alright, so then when you focus, the first thing you want to do is that I want to say when the border, when you focus on it, you copy all of this, Control V, and then same 2 pixels, but the color should be the orange color that we have. Orange, save it. So let's come here once again. Let's try it. When I click on it, the orange color comes in nicely. Then the last thing I want to do is, that's the magic trick here. I want the width to expand back to 100% because we initially set it to what 80%. So let me just click and then see the nice movement. Forget about it. So when I style it, it will no longer be there. You don't have to worry about it. Alright, so that's it. Let's go to the subscribe button here. So I could just actually start it here, but I want to do something. That's what we have been doing all along. I'll come here and I'll just say .btn round. Let me go back to the HTML. Let's see what we did. We added a class of what btn round. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start that class so that we can use that same styling for any other thing. The first thing I'm going to say display of, very important. If you don't add that, you are lost. Display of inline block. If you don't know why I'm adding that, you can ask me. I've already explained, but you could still ask me in the comment section and then I'll get it. And guys, if you're getting any value out of this video, please do what to hit that thumbs up button. It helps me a lot. It helps the algorithm, and then it just keeps the algorithm on our side, and that's what we want. And I want to say border of none because it's an input, and I want to say outline of also none, and then I want to say padding of 10 pixels top and bottom, and then 60 pixels left and right, and I want to say font family also of inherit. It should inherit the font family that we've specified for the whole thing. I want the color to be white, so that's color white, and then I want background color of like orange, and then I also want border, and I'm going fast, radius of 40 pixels, and then I want text border of like 2 pixels solid, and then transparent. It is very long. Let's see what happens when we wrote all of those lines. So that's it. It's not really bad. It's actually okay. It's actually okay. Yeah. Now I want one more thing. I want to say text transform of uppercase. And let's see it. And now you can see everything becomes what capitalized. I could have just come here and just type the value. I could just type all in uppercase, but I wanted to just show you that you could use CSS to change the font, maybe uppercase or something like that. You just have to just transform uppercase, capitalize, whatever you want to use. So that's it. And that's not it. When you hover, we want to see something. So I'll copy this and then Control V. If I say when I hover on it, or .btn round, if I should focus on it too, I want the color to be white, and I want the let me just say background color of orange, and then I want border. Let me just copy, paste it, change the color from here to orange, and then one more thing to change the color to orange. I think I made a mistake. Orange, and change this one to white. Let me type white first. I haven't typed that yet. Just check this, and yeah, that's it. When I hover, there's no transition, so you're just gonna add that transition of 4 seconds. I just like the 4. I don't know if I read number 4, Fabrigas or something like that. So that's it. We are done with the substitution. Let's go straight into the footer. So I'll go back up here and hit this a couple of times. Copy this. Control C. And I'll copy all of this and just say footer. I think I named this section contact. Yeah, so section contact. Let's go. It's quick. I want padding top of 50 pixels, just only for the top. I don't want it for the bottom. And I want a margin bottom of like 50 pixels as well. And I want test align of center. Why do I want all of that? Let's look at it. So I'm done with section newsletter. Let me just probably just go down or do this and let me see. Yeah, so that's it. Let's come back to our CSS. Is it? So the next thing we are going to do right now is just go straight to the container, and let's just say dot section contact dot contact container. And then if you're wondering where that one came from, we have it here. It's the container that everything shares to give the partner on the side. But we have this contact container that will serve as a grid where you're going to place the grid, right? So I'm going to just say I want a weight of 100%, and then I want display of grid, and then I want grid template columns of probably now I want it to be 33%, 33%, and 33%. Whoa, let me just save that. What happened? What happened? Nothing happened. Why is nothing happening? Something must be wrong. They are saying this column expected. Yeah, this is it. As you can see, it looks pretty much ugly. I think when I write some responsive code, I'm going to work all this one out very soon. But let's go to a bigger screen. You can see this is 33%. The whole width is 100. Okay, so I gave 33% to this, 33% to this, 33% to this. So you could see that for the grade, there are so many ways. You can just say like this. You can just say 1 FR, 1 FR. That means divide the screen into 2 fractions. Or you could just say the other one I will use for this. Or you could probably just say that I want you to give here 33%, here 33%, and also here 33%. What happens if I say make like, look at this, if I just change something to like 100 pixels, let's see what happens. It's very respectful. It's going to respect what you see. So it's going to give 100 pixels to here, give 33% to this, and then this two. Is that what we want? I don't think that is what we want. Let me just press Control Z, 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 and then save it. And then yeah, let's go. Now because of this case, I want to make it full screen because there's a reason why I'm doing it. I don't want to write a responsive code right now. So I'm actually going to do it this way for now, and then I'll be saving it and I'll be checking it out. So let's go. The next thing I'm going to say is grade template rows on auto. That means fix as many rows as it actually takes, and I want to say a gap of 40 pixels. It used to be called grade gap, but I think a little upgrade made it just gap of 40 pixels here. So let's just go straight and start styling something. Let's go to section contact. Section contact, and I want to say dot contact nav. First, I want to say display flex. Display flex. Let me just say what we are starting this particular contact nav here. If you look at the very main one, realize that is the nav that we have here neatly and everything is on point. So display of what? Flex. I want a weight of 100%. So I want to justify content. I want it to be spaced evenly. That's another one we can use. And then I want to say align items also center. And then let's save that. As you can see, this is the completed one. We have this one here. So you can see it became flex. The space is evenly distributed around it, as you can see right here. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. The next thing we're going to do is I'm just going to copy all of this, paste it, and I want to start the anchor tags, that's the links. I want to say first of all, I'll just say color, display of inline block. I want the color to be the color that we have, that's the 7. I don't know where the color came from. This color. And then I want padding of probably 10 pixels and 20 pixels. Yeah, take a look at it, what it looks like. So that's it. But we have some over and then this one's still on it. So if I copy everything here, Control C, Control V, then if I just say hover, Control V, and then focus. Of course, if I just say I want the background color to be orange and color to be white. Let me save that. Let's look at it. That's it. I'm not going to add any transition. I want it to be this quick. That's what I want it for this particular piece. And let's continue. So let's go back to the next thing that we have. I think the text is okay compared to the main one. There's a margin bottom here. I don't think I added that one yet. So I'll come back here and just say margin bottom of like 50 pixels. How that one works out. See if it come here. And that's it. This is the margin bottom. It just looks the same way as this one looks. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I think that's all for this particular column. Let's go to the next column here. And let's be quick about that one as well. A little bit spacing for the separation. Dot section contact and then contact list. I want weight of 100%. I want a height of 200 pixels. And I want margin bottom of 100 pixels. If you're wondering where that is coming from, let me show you where it is. As you can see right here, we have the first container. That's the contact nav. As the contact nav, let me close that part here. So the first container, this is the first div. We are done with that. We are in the second div. This is the contact list that we're talking about. This I and all those stuff. So that's what I'm actually styling right now. As you can see, everything is just taking effect nicely here. But don't worry, when we are done, everything will be intact. So dot section contact dot contact place dot contact item. Where did I get all the name from? This is the section contact here, contact list, and this is the contact what item. So that's where I get the name from. And what I want to do right now is I want to say display of block. That means fill the whole line, a portion for it. And I want to say text align of center. And I want to say margin bottom of also like around 10 pixels. And I want a transition of 0.4 seconds because you're going to have something working on in there, and there's some padding of 20 pixels all over the place. And one more thing, finally, I want border bottom of 1 pixel solid and then color orange. Let me save that and let's go and check it out straight away. So you can see this is it, and this is the original one, and this is this one. Like, I don't think there's anything more we should even be doing right now because it looks like yeah, that's it. The only thing I just did to make it a little bit crazy was let me copy everything. Yeah, Control C and then Control V. I just only added a hover stage to it, and I said whenever you hover on it, I wanted the padding to be maybe somewhere 10 pixels instead of 20 pixels. I wanted 10 pixels, and then I want to add a background. I want to change the background color to orange here, right there. Background color to like orange, and I want to change the color to white. That was the only thing I wanted to do to make it crazy, and that was, so if you look at it now, just like the original one. Yeah, and the reason why I set the height here fixed was, if not for that, let me save it and show you. Now look at this. When I hover, I realize that it's moving something here. It's moving items. I don't want it to be so. I want it to be like this, where even when it's moving, everything still stays in touch. So that was why I set a fixed height on it. That way, no matter what the height is set, so it won't affect any other thing around it. I hope that one makes sense to you guys. Let's go to the main one here. So that's it. Easy, right? It's pretty cool compared to the main one. Like guys, this is Sasuke. Yeah, that's great. And the next thing we're going to be having right now is the social media icons that we have here. I'm going to run through this quick because I have a video that shows you how to style social media icons perfectly well. And if you don't know of that video, please do want to check at the right corner here, click the link and go and check out that video, because I'm going to run through this so that it won't delay us for this particular project. We don't have enough time, so I'm going to be quick about that. So let's go. I'll say that social, where am I? Social section, contact dot social list dot social I want to say display. First thing is display of flex. I'm running through this. Please check out the video. That's it make the work quite easier here. And I want width of, you can still watch this and after that you can go check that video out. Width of 100%, but that one is more vividly explained. Justify content center. That's what I want to do. Let me save it and show you what happens. As you can see right now, everything is this way here and everything is centered in the middle. Next thing we're just going to copy all of this, Control C, Control V here, and then I'm going to have dot social link, and wondering where that name came from. I'll go back to my HTML, and as you can see, I think I'll close this div down here to get, okay, did it close down? Alright, so this is the social list and this is the social item for the LI, but for the anchor, that's the link itself. I call it a social link, but I can just come here and refer to it using this CSS selector. And the first thing I want to say display flex. I'll explain to you why I use flex instead of inline block very soon. Display flex, I want the width of 70 pixels, I'm guessing 70 pixels, and then height also 70 pixels because I want to make it a square. Height 70 pixels as well, and I want to say border radius of 50% to square it up, make it round 50%, and then background, no, then I want background color of orange, and then I want the color to be also white. So let me save it and let me check it out. I don't think it applied. Yeah, that's it. It's hyphen, not that. So let's look at it. So this is it. As you can see, when I tried to, what is it? Okay. You can see the Instagram icon is popping out here and everything is actually the way it's supposed to be. But the reason why I said display flex is that with display flex, I can just say align item center and justify content also center. When I do that, all the icons will run to the middle of everything. It's pretty much simple. So I didn't use inline block. I used actually display flex to just give me this nice thing that inline block wouldn't give me. And I want to say font size of 20 pixels, and I want to say one more thing is margin right of also 10 pixels. And let's save that, and we are almost there. Yeah, that's it. Pretty much easy. But if you look at the very main one, when you hover on it, we do get this nice wonderful animation here. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I'll make it quick and then we can go on. I'm not going to go actually make it anything stylish, just something simple, and then we are done. We don't have to worry ourselves too much. Because, yeah. So back to the CSS. I'm going to copy the social link here. Control C, Control V here, and I'm going to use what we call the studio element. So I'm going to say after. I'll have a video soon on studio element and explain to you very well. But for now, I just followed this for now. That's what I did until later I understood it. So content, put nothing for content. It's very important to do this, otherwise it's not going to work. And I want to say width of 100% of its parent element. Height also of 100% of the parent element. And then I want background color. It's supposed to be white, but let me use red so that we can actually see it, the effect. And then I want to say, let me say that background color red. And then I'm going to say one more thing. I want to say position absolute. I want top of 0, left of 0, and before that let me set position relative here, z index of 1, z index of -1. Guys, I really feel bad not to explain all of this because I've actually worked on that. So this is the actual studio element, the red color that we set here. Nice sitting here. But what happens is that we want it to be, top should be 100%. It should be 100% from here. Let me save this and then let's check it out. And you can see this is it. Now what I want to do is that when I hover on it, so it's a nice selector here, I'll just control V. I think I remember that. When I should hover on this, I want to select the after studio class. Yeah. And I want to say the top should now become 0. And before that, let me add transition to like 1 second. So let's save it. Now when I come here and I hover, it moves up, it moves up, it moves up. It's quite simple and then it's quite easy. But once again, I want the color here to be white. Let me just type white itself. Really, I'm writing white. So that's it. Easy, easy, easy. So that's it, guys. So let's continue and see what else. Now we have this part to style here, our form. Let's look at the main one. There's it. It looks quite easy, quite easy. Let me expand it a little bit more so we get the whole thing there. Yeah. So let's get straight to it. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to say dot section contact and then form. I didn't actually add any class to this, so I'm just going to say width of probably 100%, and I want to say background color of like, I want some DB this color. Save it and then we can already see what's happening. That's this one here, and I want to say just some padding of probably 20 pixels around everything. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just say dot section contact, and then I want to say form, and I want to select all the inputs just like I did in the other one with the type of what, email. And I don't want to do that. I want also, you can hold Alt, Shift and down here to do what I am doing right now. Not only that, I also select all the inputs to the type of text like this. And then one more thing is I want to select all the text area. That's where I'm going to write the message itself. But that one is not an input, so it's called text area. So I just type text area like this. And then I'm going to apply the same styles for all the same thing. It's a comma, not a semicolon, sorry. I'm actually getting a bit tired recording all the video from the beginning. It's actually not easy. So I want to say border of none. I want to say outline of also none. I want padding of 10 pixels on the X and Y axis, and then 20 pixels on the X on the, I want 10 on the top and bottom and then 20 on the left and right. I'm actually getting a little bit tired, but guys, let's wrap up this quickly. We want the width of also 80%, because we know what we are aiming at, 80%. And I want border radius of probably 20 pixels, and then I want resize of none. Now this one is actually just because of, let's come here, look at this, let me turn the resize off And let me show you something here. Let me make it bigger. Look at this. If the resize is not this, the user can just take it and resize, and we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want the user to be able to get that kind of flexibility, because we want to control what he or she can. So just say resize to what, and that way he or she cannot resize anything. And then I want to say transition of 0.4 seconds. And one more thing, let's add border of 2 pixels, solid, and then transparent. And I want to say font family. If you don't add that, you might not get a font family one. Inherit, and let's just save it. So right now we probably have what we need for this particular one here, and it looks solid. Yeah, solid is what I'm talking about here, solid. And I want to copy all of this, Control C here, bring it here, and Control V. Now what I want to do, I want to add the focus class to it. The focus class. I'm going to press here and hold Alt and click here also, and then click here also. And I want to say when we hover, right, and then finally I want to say this. I want to apply the star here. I want to just say the width to go back to 100%, and then the border should be 2 pixels, solid, and then orange. Pretty much like what we've always been doing here, our signature style in this video. Hey, did I use hover? I think it's focus, not hover. That's why it's so Control D to get that, and I just say focus. And let's see. And look at it. That's it. Pretty much it. And then the this button is the same to use another one, so it's actually reflecting here. Let me refresh this too. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Let's make it bigger, and you can see we are done. The only thing left right now is the nav bar, which I'll be talking about in the next video, and also making this one very responsive. I'm going to write all the responsive codes, just 15 lines of responsive codes, and then this whole website will become fully responsive. And then we'll talk about the nav bar, making it. It's a special topic, so I think I'll need one video for that. And guys, thank you so much for sticking to the very end of this video. If you did learn anything or actually enjoy this series, please hit the thumbs up button, and then subscribe if you haven't subscribed, so that the next video that comes out you'll be alerted and notified in your whatever you have to be notified with. And without much ado, guys, I'm going to catch you in the very next video. Peace.